This film is about what we learned on our basketball pilgrimage. Jericho is one of the oldest cities in the world. Ruins go back 10,000 years. We visited Mount Nebo, where Moses got a glimpse of the Promised Land. Further north in Jordan is Talmah Elias, where Elijah grew up. In Jerusalem we saw stones going back to the time of David and Solomon at about 1000 BC. The incredible lost city of Petra was built by the Nabateans in about 500 BC and was only rediscovered in 1812. We explored Greek temples in Jerash and walked all through the ruins of this ancient Roman city. Nearby, Ajloon Castle was originally home to Christian monks and later became a Muslim fortress. We played a great game of sardines here. It's like hide and seek, but better. Masada is the fortress where the last Jewish fighters and their families chose death rather than defeat. After a long siege, they committed suicide instead of surrendering to the Romans in 73 AD. Of course, we walked in the footsteps of Jesus and visited lots of Christian holy sites. But we also learned about Judaism and Islam. First stop in Israel was Kibbutz Yahel, where Laurie Stark explained how families share the land and profits from the dairy. She also told us about Orthodox and Reform Judaism and showed us their Reform synagogue, including the Torah scrolls.
What your being here is very important.
In Nazareth, we visited the White Mosque, learned about the 5 pillars of Islam, and saw how Muslims pray. Jerusalem is the most important place on earth for Christians and Jews. We prayed at the Western Wall alongside Jews who come from all over the world to pray at the only remains of the temple. Jerusalem is also a sacred place to Muslims because it was here that Muhammad had his night journey to heaven. The Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque mark this place. Of course, today Jerusalem is a place of high tension between Jews, Muslims and Christians, but according to scriptures it is meant to be a place of prayer for all peoples. You cannot travel to the Holy Land and ignore the conflict between Israelis and Palestinians. You face it everywhere you turn. It is a divided land. Father Jay says that we cannot understand the conflict without understanding the Holocaust. So last summer we spent an afternoon at the Anne Frank exhibition. We also met Eva Clark, a Holocaust survivor. In Jerusalem, we spent a morning at Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Memorial Museum. It was heartbreaking to see how 6 million Jews died at the hands of the Nazis. From Yad Vashem, we went straight to Al-Walaja, a village on the West Bank, which has a friendship link with our town, Bedford. We played basketball and stayed with families there, and it was heartbreaking to see the wall which will encircle the village and to hear how Palestinians lost their homes and land and continue to suffer 65 years later. We tried to understand the pain of both Palestinians and Jews. We learned a lot in the space of 12 days. The lessons will stay with us for a lifetime.